Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Erin. I post a peek into my life and also my mind. I'm so excited about today's video. I've been posting such random content lately. It's like whatever I feel like I would want to watch. And this is a video that I would want to watch. These are going to be my vlogger must-haves. I'm going to be talking about my camera, filming on an iPhone, tripods, batteries, music, tips on just like editing and websites I use to make my thumbnails and just like all of that stuff. You might want to skip ahead if you want to skip some of the stuff that has to do with the camera. And like if you guys film on your phone, just skip ahead to where I'm talking about the phone. So anyways, if you're new here, please subscribe. I would love to have you. Also check out my vlogs because I do include a lot of information on just like random things throughout my vlog. So you might be interested in what I have to say in those. But I'm going to stop talking so fast and get into the video. First of all, the camera that I use is the Sony ZV1, and I'm a huge fan of this camera. I like the way that the lighting adjusts very easily. I haven't touched any of the settings when I started this video. I have like the settings I put it on, which was based off of a video, which if you guys want to know what video I used for my settings, I can link it down below. But basically I just set the settings and it's the same settings for every single one of my videos. I find it just very easy. It's just like the typical point and shoot camera where basically you turn the camera on and you start filming and that's it. A few things I want to mention with it is that the battery life is not great. They do sell these like knockoff batteries on Amazon that come in a 3-pack that I've seen a lot of people suggest, and I do want to say that I would not recommend doing those. I have used those in the past and they ended up actually causing my camera to not be able to turn on eventually. And then I ended up buying a real Sony battery. I think I got it off Amazon, I want to say. And it came with this little charger and wire. And honestly, having the 2 is more than enough. I never really need more than 2. These last longer than those ones off of Amazon that are like the fake Sony ones. So these should last you very long. I just always have one charging while the other one's in the camera. That way, if this one dies, I always have one ready. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I would just definitely recommend having an extra battery when it comes to this camera because it's not a crazy battery life. The next thing I want to talk about is the tripod that I have you guys on right now. I am filming on this camera, so I just filmed a few shots on my phone to show you guys kind of a look at the camera. The tripod that I have you guys set up on right now is one off of Amazon. I'll link that down below as well. It's really great because it can extend pretty long, but it also can be really compactable. So you can put it in your purse or your bag or your backpack or whatever, and it's easy to travel with. It's pretty stable. I like the head of the tripod is like a swivel, so you can actually point it down and move it pretty easily. But I am going to show you guys another tripod. This is my big tripod. As you can see, when it extends, it is quite long. It again has that like nice swivel head. I love this tripod. This tripod's really great for if you want to do more like distant shots or standing shots. I personally don't use it as much as I use the one that you guys are on right now. I typically reach for this one when I'm filming, but this one is also great if you don't have anything to set your camera up on. Like my camera is always on a table or a couch or a bed or a counter. But if you don't want to be filming like that and you want more like far distance shots, like for example, when I did my what I eat in a day video, I used this camera when I was filming the shot behind me because I didn't have a table right there. So I was able to actually film me doing the full process. Those are my tripods. That's the camera. Now I'm going to get into the accessories for the camera. As I was saying, if you don't have this camera, skip this part because it won't be important to you. But the next thing I'm going to mention is the camera base mount bracket. And basically all it is this little black metal part that attaches to the bottom of your camera. If you have this camera, you'll know that the battery and the SD card inserts at the bottom of the camera. This is an issue typically when you have a tripod attached to the camera because the part where you open up the battery part to change batteries, if let's say the camera was to die right now in the middle of this video, I'd have to change the battery. I would also have to take it off the tripod to change the battery. So when you have this bracket, what it does is it gives it kind of gap. That way you can actually open up the battery portion and still you change the battery or the SD card without having to take it off the tripod, which is lovely. It also is accessible, like the holes at the bottom of this bracket allow you to put it in multiple different spots. So you can put it more to the right of the camera, more to the left, in the center. It's like easier to put the tripod in certain spots. So I'll link that down below as well. I know this is a lot of extra things to buy for a camera when the camera's already so expensive, but if you are planning to do YouTube or whatever it is that you're filming for quite a while, it's an investment and it's usually a hobby and something you enjoy doing. So yeah, I didn't buy all this stuff at once. It was slowly things that I realized I needed and wanted and things that I thought would make my life easier. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is my camera protection, basically. So I don't have an actual case that I put my camera in. All I have is a little strap, which I never really use. And then I have a screen protector on the actual screen. It's basically just a glass screen protector that I got off of Amazon that's specifically for this camera. That way, if I'm ever throwing it in my bag and the screen cracks, it's not the actual screen, it's just the protector. And then on top of that, the other thing that I have is it's like a cover, a silicone cover for the camera, and it was basically like a case. I couldn't use the case while also having the bracket. So what I ended up doing was cutting it all around the camera lens. That way it protects the lens, but not the entire camera, because the only thing that I was really trying to protect was that front lens. I've seen a lot of people talk about how if you accidentally like move the lens when the camera's off, you can break the lens really easily, and I just didn't want to break it. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. Basically all I did was just trim around in a circle and it just slides on top. I took some double-sided tape and taped it on the inside of the like cover part, and now that part of my camera is protected. And yeah, and the flap opens up really easily. It never really blocks the camera or anything now that I have it taped, and it just pushes out directly once you turn the camera on, and then when you turn the camera off it goes back onto closed. And yeah. The next thing I'm going to talk about is my iPhone. I have the iPhone 12 Pro. I want to show you guys how you can film your videos to look a little bit better on the iPhone. So what you're going to do is, this is the back screen of the iPhone. When you're filming on an iPhone, you want to use the back camera because it's a lot clearer than the front camera. So something I like to do is when I'm filming vlogs, I'll set it on 2.5. As you can see, it basically just changes what the frame looks like, makes it go wide. You can also do 2, which makes it zoom up, which can be cool as well. So just play with the lenses, as well as if you are curious how people get that like dark aesthetic when they're filming, which typically makes things look a little bit better quality. All you do is tap this little number digit right here that has a little like scale almost. Tap that, and then, why is it not tapping? There we go. And then as you'll see, this little line thing will come up. This is basically changing the brightness of your video. So if you move it up, it gets brighter, and when you move it down, you'll see it gets darker. So if you're going for like that moody vibe, I would typically set it to like -1 or -0.7, and it just gives that more like dark vibey. If you do it in that setting, it's going to end up staying that way. So anytime you film something, it's going to be in that same setting of brightness. But if you want to do it more custom, let's say I'm filming this right now, I tap on the screen, and then let me do somewhere you guys can see. I tap on the screen, I see this little sun, and then I drag the sun up if I want it brighter, or down if I want it lower, as you can see. And that will not be a permanent thing. That'll end up going away when you turn the camera on the next time, or turn your phone on the next time. So I just wanted to mention those few things for when you're filming on your iPhone. And then I wanted to mention a little accessory that I have for my iPhone. So this is a little lens thing that I used quite a bit before. I haven't really used it in a while, but I kind of want to bring it back out again. Basically all it is a little clip. So you just clip it on. There's a little cover on this one. Then it becomes like a fisheye. So as you can see, there's this, and then it also comes with a few other different lenses. The only one I really use is the fisheye one because I just think it looks the coolest. And so if you're filming on your phone, I would definitely recommend buying things like this, because then it can just amplify your video without actually spending so much money on a camera. The next thing I'm gonna mention, this has been a game changer. I love filming in my car, but for some reason finding a mount for your car for your camera is extremely hard. Unless you're filming on your iPhone, then you can get like one of those holders. But for some reason finding a car mount that is easy to use and it's just like easy to kind of place and doesn't look super clunky and everything is so difficult. But I have found something that has saved my life. Not saved my life, that's dramatic. Basically, it's a dashboard pad, and basically all it is just this sticky little pad that you put on your dashboard, and anything you put on it will not slide off. So you can put your keys or your phone or whatever it is you want. I use it for my camera because I can just plop my camera right on top of it and it's not sliding all over the dashboard. It stays in place. If you guys are curious how I filmed my Drive With Me vlog where I showed you guys my fall 2022 playlist, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But I used that to film it and it was really great. It came in a pack of 2, so if it ever gets, you know, not sticky, which I don't know if that'll happen, but if it ever does happen, then I have that. And then I have a few other things that I would recommend that are kind of more in like the editing realm. So the first one is Canva. You've most likely already heard of Canva. Basically, I use it for any of my thumbnails and just my cover art on my channel. All of that stuff is directly on Canva. You can even search up templates and they'll give you exact templates on Canva, and you can just fill in your own pictures and text on your own, or you can create your own stuff. And the next thing is thematic. That is what I use to get my music and music that doesn't get copyrighted. I personally pay for the subscription and I think it's worth it. There's other ones, like I think it starts with an E. I can't remember what it's called, but the one I use is thematic. The next thing I want to mention is a site that I used for audio improvements. So when I was using only my iPhone, I found one of the main issues was the sound quality wasn't that great. So basically what I would do is I would finish editing my video, the one that I had filmed on my phone, and I would export the video just as an MP3, meaning you're just taking the audio. Once you've done that, then I would import it into this website, which would actually allow me to do certain settings in order to improve the quality of my audio. I'll put the settings on the screen right here so you guys know what the settings are. And then once I did that, I would export the audio and then put that audio that is now improved onto the video and mute the rest of the video with the original audio. I hope that makes sense, and quality of audio actually impacts the video a lot. For example, I'll change the audio right here and you can hear that the audio being worse makes you not as interested in the video. As much as the video itself is interesting, the audio is very, very, very important, which is also why music is so important. And the next thing that I do is use the Notes app. I have a full folder for YouTube videos. So I put all of my ideas in my YouTube folder. I have all of the information on my videos, my mission statement for what I want my channel to be about, and why I'm doing what I'm doing, and the videos that I have filmed and ready to post, the videos that I want to film next. I just have like all of my information in my Notes app. That's basically it. I'm looking at my list. I think that's it. I feel like I just talked so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions on vlogging or anything like that, definitely let me know if you have any suggestions of videos, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions for me for vlogging, things like that. And I will see you in the next one.